I don't know that just doing the Lion diet or even just doing the carnivore diet is actually going to heal your gut. So it has now been over 5 months that I've been doing the Lion diet, which is a stricter version of the carnivore diets where all you eat is ruminant meats and salts. So that includes beef, bison, venison, elk, deer, goat, lamb. Typically people eat a lot of beef because it's the easiest to find and the most affordable, at least here in the USA. So for a few months before I started the Lion diet, I did the regular carnivore diets, and still was doing mostly beef, but I had some other, chicken, bacon, pork, a little bit of dairy here and there before I started the Lion diet. And that was, I think, good for me at least to be able to take time to transition, just because it's such a big life change and something that can be difficult to adjust to, especially if you're really sick. But when I first was, looking into the carnivore and the Lion diet and doing a lot of research, I really was under the impression that the Lion diet would bring me more healing and that it would be better than the regular carnivore diet. And my thoughts on that have changed quite a bit over the last few months, as I have been doing a lot more research on healing the guts, and I've kind of come to the conclusion that I don't think that the Lion diet heals people's guts. It might for some people, but I think for most it's more of like a band-aid over the problem. And something that I see a lot in the Lion diet community is histamine intolerance, and also having pretty severe reactions if you're trying to reintroduce other carnivore foods or other plants. And to me at least, and from what I've learned so far, that's a really big sign that your gut is not healed. And so the Lion diet may work really well for a lot of people and they feel really good on it, but I don't know that just doing the Lion diet or even just doing the carnivore diet is actually going to heal your gut. I know there's going to be a lot of varying opinions on this, but for me, I know that my gut is absolutely not healed. Like, in some ways my gut issues have improved, but in some ways they've actually gotten worse with this way of eating, and I've been very strict with it. I've been eating really high quality meats. For the last several months I've 95% been eating unaged meats and cooking from frozen, doing all the things for, dealing with histamine intolerance and just everything that I could possibly try to do to accelerate my healing. And I have seen an increase in quality of life from this way of eating, as I know that I've shared with you guys, and I'm super thankful for that. But I'm still very far from being healed, and I think that if I can find a way to heal my gut, that will just accelerate my healing so much. I made a video a couple weeks ago talking about troubleshooting on the carnivore diet and just different things to try, so I'll put a link up here to that if you guys want to check it out. But there are several other things that I've been looking into and either have started to incorporate or hope to incorporate soon. Something that I've become really interested in over the last few months is the GAPS diet, and it's basically a gut healing protocol that was created by Dr. Natasha McBride, and she originally created it because her young son had autism, and that eventually led him to go into remission, and then she helped thousands of families do the same with their children, and then started to realize that it worked really well for other mental health disorders, for developmental delays, for all sorts of different chronic illnesses and autoimmune diseases. And really, she believes that the root of almost every chronic disease is in the gut. And she actually had a section in her book about connective tissue disorders and syndromes, which was really interesting for me because that's been a big part of my chronic illness journey. And so just to read that part of her book was just super eye-opening to me. And another thing that she addressed really well is die-off reactions or Herxheimer reactions, which I know some of you guys have asked me to talk more about, and I'm definitely planning to make videos on that as soon as possible. But I think that's something that just needs to be talked about more in the carnivore community. It may not happen for most people doing this way of eating, but there is a good percentage and group of people that do experience die-off reactions, and because it's not talked about, I think sometimes people take that as like, oh, I don't do well with this way of eating, or oh, I react really poorly to this food, but really it might just be a sign that your body is starting to heal and shed toxins. And so basically Dr. Natasha McBride talks about die-off reactions and compares them to like peeling off the layers of an onion. So that's how we heal. But sometimes when you're healing, your body starts to release toxins too quickly, and that can cause really severe symptoms. I've had die-off reactions that literally would have taken me to the hospital if I actually trusted that they could help me. It's definitely a real thing, something to be cautious of and aware of. And I think that die-off reactions and histamine intolerance and oxalate dumping, they're all just kind of like related, and the symptoms overlap and it's hard to know what is from what. Anyways, I wanted to share with you guys that I will not be doing the strict lion diet anymore, and I'm excited about that. I'm going to be introducing some other carnivore foods that I think could be really helpful for me in my healing, and some of those include salmon. I think that an increase in omega-3s could really help me with energy and neurological symptoms and all sorts of things, so I'm excited to try that. So over the last month or so, I have done a couple of experiments with chicken, and I also tried pork once, and these were all pastured pork and chicken, just because with those types of meats, the quality of it matters a lot more nutrition-wise than with ruminant meats. Something interesting I recently learned is that even among pastured pork and chicken, 95 to 99% of pastured pork and chicken is fed corn and soy, which can be very inflammatory for people who are really sensitive. I think that for most people that really doesn't matter. I actually tried some pastured pork, and so I thought, oh, this is really high quality pork, like it's gonna have a better omega-6 to 3 ratio, and I tried it and I felt terrible, like I had a reaction to it. And then I looked on the website and I saw that they were indeed fed corn and soy, and so I found a source for pork that is corn and soy free, fed an ancestrally appropriate diet, and that's North Star bison. So I ordered some of that, and I'm excited to try it because I have missed pork a lot. And as for chicken, the first time I tried chicken, I tried pastured chicken, which was not corn and soy free, and I did okay with it, but not great. I could definitely tell I had a reaction to it, but it wasn't like super severe. But then I found some corn and soy free chicken, and I tried that and I had no reaction to it. I did just fine with it, and so I'm excited about adding in some chicken here and there. I'm definitely mostly going to be eating ruminant meats still, but I will be trying to add some other carnivore diet foods in here and there. I think for some people, they may actually really do better with a bigger variety of animal foods, and especially if the animals are raised and fed appropriately. And that's really a hard thing to find, and I know it's expensive. If you do well with conventional chicken and pork, then I say go for it. But if you do notice that you're really sensitive and can afford to get higher quality pork and chicken, then you may notice that you feel better with it. So I'll keep you guys updated on the pork, but I'm excited that I have not been reacting to the corn and soy free chicken. Over the last couple of days, I tried to introduce egg yolks. I just got the Vital Farm pastured egg yolks from Costco. I'm in search for some corn and soy free eggs, but that is a really hard thing to do. You wouldn't think so, but like I said before, 95 to 99% of pastured chicken and eggs is fed corn and soy. I actually started getting like sort of hives sort of reaction on my forehead, which has never happened before. I'm not sure if it's from the egg yolks, but I've been eating them for a couple of days now and haven't seemed to have any other reaction, but these bumps on my forehead. So it could be that. I'm gonna look for the corn and soy free because I think that will potentially be better for me, but we'll see. I have some salmon in the fridge and it's wild caught, immediately frozen salmon, so I'm excited to try that. And another thing that I've been looking into incorporating is some probiotics like raw kefir or raw cultured butter. I actually have some raw cultured butter in the freezer that I haven't started yet, but at least in the GAPS diet protocol, probiotics and fermented foods are a really big part of their healing protocol, and so I think that that could be really good. I'm gonna start really slow and small with that because I know probiotics like raw kefir can cause really strong die-off and Herxheimer reactions in people that are sensitive like me, so yeah, I'm just excited about that. I think raw dairy could be a really good thing to experiment with, and I know the opinions on that vary, but I've heard some pretty compelling stories about it. Some people in this community kind of think if one thing works for them, it's going to work for everyone, and I'm not that way. I'm fully in support of people doing or eating in any way that makes them feel their best, and so I think it's important to experiment because everyone is different and just have to keep experimenting to see what works best. But I'm excited to not be on the strict lion diet anymore and to start trying to incorporate some other foods. And yeah, part of me wonders why some people in the lion diet react so strongly to other foods is just the quality of it. Just because even things like pastured pork and chicken are typically fed corn and soy, which can be really inflammatory for people who are sensitive. So I think North Star bison is one of the absolute best sources for meats. They have all different sorts of meats like bison, beef, things like rabbit, elk, pork, and chicken. I'm excited to try their pork soon, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. Anyways, there's some other things I'm gonna update you guys on soon. I actually just got a bunch of blood work back that has been really interesting to look at, and I'll make a video on that, just showing kind of a comparison of some of my blood work pre-carnivore diet to 7 months in, and share some of my thoughts and some things that I might tweak or adjust because of some of the results that I saw. So yeah, lots of good things. I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there. These past few days I've been kind of coming out of a few week-long flare-up in symptoms, but otherwise things are going pretty well. I was gonna show you guys, I just started a new Etsy shop with some fun like carnivore, keto sort of designs in it. This is one of my new shirts. I haven't shared this with you guys before, but I actually have another Etsy shop that has designs and apparel for people with chronic illnesses, and I just wanted to make another shop with some fun carnivore designs because it's something I've become passionate about, and so I hope you guys enjoy them. I'll put a link to the shop down below. Those are the main updates for now. If you guys have any questions, put them down in the comments. I love hearing from you, and I'm just hoping to be able to make lots of new videos soon, and just feel really thankful that I'm able to share my journey with you. So hope you guys are having a great week. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon.